we really think that this idea that you can actually have an impact to your business, a positive, financial, measurable impact to your business, while at the same time improving social outcomes, is the next wave of business.
So I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking about this paradox of poverty in the midst of fairly significant prosperity in Calgary. Talk a little bit about where poverty comes from, and then see how we can engage the business sector as a meaningful partner in poverty reduction.
20 years ago, the starting point was, societal issues don't really impact us. Let's try to figure out how to get as much out of the ground as possible and in as profitable way as we can. But that obviously had negative consequences as people start to recognize that there was a big impact this sector had on society. So then I think the shift started to be, problems could actually get in the way of us doing business. Right? So how can we try to solve this? Well, let's try to create philanthropic departments. Let's try to create CSR departments. And I think that was the mentality, say, 10 years ago.
There are things we can do with our workforce. Businesses already do a lot of things very well. They're great contributors to the United Way, do a lot of community investment, but there are things that we can do in the way we do business as well that can have a significant impact.
Unilever now earns 50% of its revenues in India from rural markets. Oh, and by the way, 150 million Indians now have access to better, more hygienic products that help improve their hygiene. So again, you can see with that particular example how you think about your value chain differently can have both the business and social returns.
Flexible workplace practices. Allowing that flexibility in the workplace that allows people to balance work and family responsibilities can actually bring more people into the workplace. So those who may not be able to participate in the labor force now can, and you have a win for business because you, in a tight labor market, you're increasing the labor pool available to you. Doing business differently, we talked about the power of community economic development and supporting that form of economic development, but also about working with our corporate sector around developing and promoting inclusive business practices.
Companies, I think, have moved much more aggressively into saying, we need to do something. We need to try to tackle this. We need to try to tackle this through social investment. We need to try to tackle it through our programs. And some of the more progressive companies are saying, this isn't only a risk. This is also an opportunity. And those are the companies that are kind of beginning to embrace shared value strategies.
Key message is that we're all vulnerable to poverty. Anything can happen to any of us at any time and can land us there. And by the same token, then, we all benefit by creating that great city where poverty doesn't have the opportunity to thrive. And lastly, we believe in Calgary, of all places, there is enough for all. It's not a zero-sum game. We can grow the kind of economy and build the kind of city where we all can share equally in the prosperity that we have here.